You recognize the value of building your personal brand on LinkedIn. You're ready to get started, but honestly, you don't know where to start. This plan is for you. It's a 14-day plan in terms of how to get started on LinkedIn, what you should prioritize, and where you should put your energy and your focus. So let's get right into it. Yes, all this could be done technically in a day, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself. I do see this very often where people get excited about LinkedIn and they try to do everything in a day, and then it becomes too overwhelming, and you may have been there before. So that's why I'm breaking it out into 14 days. It gives you the opportunity to take breaks in between as necessary and to begin to build that muscle in terms of consistency, because building your personal brand on the platform, the first thing you need to have is consistency. And I don't want you to confuse frequency with consistency. Frequency is just how often you're posting. But when we're talking about consistency, it's about how are you showing up on a long-term basis to be able to make an impact for your audience, to be able to make an impact for yourself. So that's what I'm focusing on when I'm giving you this 14-day plan. So number one, let's say day 1 to 3, set up your LinkedIn account. So if you don't have one at all, definitely sign up for a LinkedIn account. It takes a few minutes. I do have a video I'll share right on top, the link, and it gives you a step-by-step about how to set up a LinkedIn profile for someone who's never had one. If you are someone who has a LinkedIn profile, now what you want to do is take a look at your profile, take a look at where there are some gaps, and also start to explore the platform. Look at what other people are doing and try to just observe. Really, right now, you're just more in the research phase where you're just trying to understand how does it actually work. Now, you've set up your LinkedIn account, you've set up a profile, you have the bare bone, the basics, and you've been doing your research understanding what is LinkedIn, what do people do there, how does it work. So now let's say for day 4 to 6, it's time to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Before you begin the process of optimizing your LinkedIn profile, you need to understand the purpose for which you are on the platform. What are you trying to achieve there? What are you trying to get out of LinkedIn? That will essentially help you know what steps you need to take next. So take the time to reflect. What is my purpose for being on this platform? Whether you're looking for a job, trying to secure leads for your business, networking with other people in your industry, you want to improve your writing skills. There are different reasons why people decide to join LinkedIn or to build their personal brands on LinkedIn. What is your reason? Actually take the time to think about it, because there's no point in just starting and wasting time. What are you trying to get out of it, and how are you trying to be of service? Because when you think about others first, you will realize that in turn you'll be helping yourself as well. And that's one of the amazing things about the platform, is that as you give, you will also receive. But you need to be in a position of thinking that way, where it's not just take. On some platforms, for example, it's very easy to just post something that, I'm selling this for $10.99, and you just put a bunch of advertisements and you can get sales that way. LinkedIn doesn't work that way, for example. It's more about building relationships, building connections, and building trust. So depending on what's the reason you're there, figure that out, and then now let's work on optimizing your LinkedIn profile. We're going to look at 8 parts of your LinkedIn profile that you can keep in mind as you are optimizing your profile. The first one is your headline. Your headline goes right below your name, and it is a searchable field. So when people search project manager in the LinkedIn search bar, people who have project manager in their headline are the people who are typically going to show up in that search. So your headline is very important because it communicates to people what it is that you do and what you want to be found for. So in your headline, you want to make sure that the appropriate keywords that you want to be found for show up in the headline. So it's not something that you just do very quickly and forget about it. It's something that you're going to be perfecting and improving over time. So you definitely want to make sure that you do have a headline. If you don't change it, the default headline is your job title at the name of the company you're currently working at. But if you do take the time to optimize it, to take advantage of the 240 characters that you have for your headline, you'll see that you'll get a lot more value out of it. In terms of my own headline, it says, I help quiet leaders win at work while staying true to themselves, something like that. And that's basically what I do as a business. A lot of people have approached me on LinkedIn simply by reading the headline. They didn't go to my website. They didn't take the time to read the whole LinkedIn profile, but just the headline caught their attention, and that's the reason why they're reaching out to me. So that's a very important part of your LinkedIn profile. The second thing is your picture. It is quite important to have a picture on your LinkedIn profile. It helps you build that trust and credibility and connection that I was talking about earlier. So definitely have a picture on your LinkedIn profile. It doesn't need to be a professional headshot, although it does need to look professional. You can easily take a headshot on your own by, setting up a tripod and taking the picture by yourself using your phone. Or if you do want to invest in a professional headshot, you can definitely do so. There's so much out there right now in terms of headshots and getting one with AI, or even just going on Canva and taking a picture that you already have, that you like, using some of the AI features to turn it into a headshot. So there's so many possibilities out there in terms of getting a headshot, but you want to make sure that it looks like you, that you are smiling. It's something that shows that you are approachable, and that will be very beneficial in you building your personal brand on LinkedIn. All right, next it's your summary. So your summary is a section of the profile that is not there by default. So you need to add it to your LinkedIn profile. And it is an important section because it's now your opportunity to tell your story. It's the opportunity for you to share your narrative about what are you trying to achieve on the platform? Who are you trying to serve? Who are you trying to attract? And how can they get in touch with you? So having an about section is necessary for your profile because now it's your opportunity to be able to share more about who you are and what it is that you do. Next is your experience. So you definitely want to list out relevant experience on your LinkedIn profile. So you don't want to list out your whole career history going back to the 90s and every job that you've had. That's not necessary. Again, think about what's your goal, what's your purpose for your LinkedIn profile, and what experience is the most relevant to showcase that aligns with that goal. So that's how you want to think about your LinkedIn profile. Definitely want to make sure that you're adding a description for the various roles that you've had. One thing to keep in mind is that your resume and your LinkedIn profile are completely different. You're not copy pasting your resume into your LinkedIn profile because they are completely different in terms of the purpose that they serve. Your resume goes to one person, one organization. You're uploading it to one portal for a specific job, whereas your LinkedIn profile is a public profile that can be seen by anyone on the internet. Anyone can Google search your name and land on your LinkedIn profile. With that in mind, you want to be careful the amount of information you're putting there, but you also want to make sure that the information you're putting there catches the attention of the right person to help you achieve your ultimate goal. So when it comes to listing your experience, definitely think of adding some accomplishments that truly showcase how you were able to make an impact for the employer that you worked for or for your business. So always think about adding some quantifiable results in the various experiences that you've had. The next thing to think about when optimizing your LinkedIn profile is your education. You definitely want to add your education to your profile. I often get asked if we need to add the dates. It's not mandatory to add the dates on your LinkedIn profile. You can just put the name of the degree, but it is helpful to add your education, any certifications that you have, courses that you've taken that are relevant to your ultimate goal, your target. All that is information that can definitely be added to your LinkedIn profile, and that helps you in terms of making connections to people on the platform. Because what LinkedIn ultimately tries to do is to connect you with people who are similar to you. And education is one of those places that can be done easily, because once you list your education, what LinkedIn will help you do is start to build a network around you and make suggestions of people who went to the same university or college you did. And that's a great way for you to start building your list of connections on the platform. All right, next is skills and endorsements. So skills and endorsements is a section on your profile where you can list various skills that you have, again, that align with your ultimate purpose for being on the platform. You can list various skills that are important because they allow you to be found on the platform. So those skills are not just random words that happen to be there. They are also ways that you can keyword optimize your LinkedIn profile. So think of those keywords and those skills very strategically and make sure that the ones that are the most relevant to your target are showing up on your profile. Endorsements are basically, for example, you said a skill that you have is project management. And now people who know you can endorse you and say that, yes, I do know that Lisa has project management skills, and they will endorse you for that. Over the years, endorsements have lost a bit of their value, I will say, because some people just go around and just endorse people that they don't even know and just give and get endorsements just to get to the point that they have 99 plus endorsements. So it has lost a bit of its value, but the skills itself is still very important. And in addition to adding the skills to the skills section on your profile, you can list what skills match the various experience or education that you've had. So for example, if you said that a skill you have is project management, you can say that you acquired or you use these project management skills in the various positions that you did use it, and also in what degree or what diploma you were able to acquire that skill. So that's another way, again, to get more keywords into your profile, which can help you get found on the platform. Next, recommendations. So recommendations are like social proof. This is your opportunity for someone to say that, yes, Lisa said she has project management skills. I'm not just going to give her a little endorsement to say, yes, she has project management skills. I'm actually going to write a recommendation for Lisa about her project management skills. And the great thing about LinkedIn is that with these recommendations, you can literally click on that person's profile and see who that person is, so you know that it's legit. It's not a made-up recommendation. So that is a section of your profile that you definitely want to add because it does help in terms of social proofing. All right, and last thing to consider when starting off the basics of building your LinkedIn profile is that you definitely want to have a banner. The banner goes at the very top of your profile, and the reason that it's important is that it adds a visual to your profile. LinkedIn is still social media. As much as it is a professional platform, a lot of people are there. They're scrolling. They don't want to spend a lot of time reading through your about section, your summary, to know, who you are and what it is that you do. Some people just want to look at images and just want to get a quick visual. And that's what your banner can do for your profile. So definitely go on a website like Canva. There are free templates available that you can easily adjust to create a banner for your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so that's week one. Week one, you have created your LinkedIn account. You have done some research to understand how the platform works, get a better understanding of what it is that people do there. And then you've also defined what is your purpose for being on the platform. Why are you there and what can you contribute? And now with that in mind, you have now created your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn profile is not going to be static. It's something that you're going to be changing, updating. It's going to evolve as you grow, as you evolve as a professional. So don't think that, okay, I created my LinkedIn profile on day 6 and I have to keep it like that forever. You're going to adjust it with time. So give yourself that grace also, that even if it's day 7, day 6, whatever day it may be, and it's still not completely done or not perfect, give yourself that grace to know that you can update it as you go. Okay, so it's week 2. And what are we doing for week 2? We're starting to build some connections. We are starting to look and explore content development. And we're also starting to look at job opportunities if you are someone who's job searching. So days 7 to 10, you now have a foundation of your LinkedIn profile. You have a good understanding of why you're there. Now it's time to start connecting with people. So connect with people that you know. That's a great place to start. People that you went to school with, people that you've worked with. This is a great way to begin to expand your reach and to begin to make connections. With time, you will see that you'll definitely start connecting with people that you don't know, but in starting off in the first few days, the easiest thing is to start with people that you know and build from there. You can also look at some of the people who are more active on LinkedIn, who are LinkedIn influencers or LinkedIn top voices. This is a place to start as well, because this is typically people who may be in your industry who are talking about things that are important to you and that are relevant to you. And so that's another place to start as well, to look out for the leaders in your industry, the thought leaders who are communicating messages or content that aligns with your interests, and begin to see how is it that they write their content? How is it that they're showing up on LinkedIn regularly? How are they able to build that consistency? What formula are they using when they share information? How can you begin to look at what they're doing and also begin to see how can you do something similar but also make it your own? And that's how you're going to be able to stand out on the platform. So definitely make some connections to people on LinkedIn. There is a difference between making a connection and following. So if you're making a connection, that basically means that you're literally part of that person's network. So you are able to see their content, they see your content on their feed. Whereas if you just follow someone, that just means that you are interested in that person's content and you've decided to follow their content, and you see that content on your feed because you followed them, but they may not see your content on their feed. So that's the difference between making a connection and following someone. And so when you're starting off, you do want to start building a list of some connections, because this will help you actually have something to show up on your feed. And definitely when it's those bigger accounts, there is a limit in terms of how many people you can connect with. So maybe some people who have a big following have exceeded their number of connections, or some people honestly just don't respond anymore to connection requests. For such people, you can decide to follow them instead of connecting with them. Also look at LinkedIn groups. You want to think of it strategically. There are some LinkedIn groups that are quite active, others are completely dead, but depending on what industry that you're in, take a look and see if there is an active LinkedIn group for people in your industry and also people in your community. For example, I live in Ottawa, and there is an Ottawa business group that is quite active on LinkedIn, that I see their posts going on, and sometimes people reach out to me from that group. And so if there's something in your industry or in your area that exists that way, that could be a great way for you to begin to make some connections, to get to know people, and to expand your reach. So day 11 to 14 may vary depending on what your focus is for being on the platform. If you are someone who is currently job searching, your focus now will turn to starting to look at job opportunities. So firstly, on your profile, you can set that you are open to work. That is a feature that you can turn on your profile. If you're not sure how to do that, I do have a video that shows how to do that. So I will list it above, but I'm also going to put it in the description, and that's going to help you to get a step-by-step on how to set up open to work on your profile. And that will help you to increase your visibility and increase your reach so that people know that you're actually looking for a career opportunity at this time. And then in addition to that, setting the open to work is just one step. Begin to now look at job opportunities. Begin to now consider what is out there in terms of job listings, and is there a way that you can now begin to connect with the hiring managers, recruiters, the people who are behind the job posters. So when it comes to networking, yes, it's amazing to connect with recruiters, hiring managers, but also think about it. They don't work for you. They work for the employer. And yes, you do solve a problem for them. If you're the ideal candidate for a position, for sure that helps them because you're making their job easier. So completely understand that. But at the same time, don't have these expectations that they're supposed to answer your messages, or don't get frustrated if they don't respond to your messages. They have a job that they're doing, and sometimes it's a very, very demanding job. So think of it from the perspective of when you started making those connections, you started with people that you actually knew. Someone who knows you is more likely going to be willing to help you in terms of your search than a complete stranger. So you do definitely want to have a level of balance. You can make a list of top people that you're going to be reaching out to that you know, that have a level of influence and that are willing to help you. And that can be a great place to start in terms of who you're going to start making connections with. At the same time, also still looking at what opportunities are out there and how you can apply for those opportunities. LinkedIn does have some features, for example, like Easy Apply, where you can just with a click basically send an application. I wouldn't suggest for that to be your only job search method. It is always great to go directly to the job poster and submit an actual resume that is tailored for that opportunity, whether on the company website or even on LinkedIn. But sending your LinkedIn profile as a resume is not something that I would suggest to you, because at the end of the day, as I said before, your LinkedIn profile is something completely different from your resume. So something to keep in mind if you're someone who is job searching. All right, now day 11 to 14, for someone who's more on the side of you're trying to network, you're trying to build your brand on the platform, you probably already have a job or you have a business and you're really not job searching at this time. You're looking to expand your reach and your visibility. Then your approach for day 11 to 14 will be more of an approach of now either deciding to start creating your own content and start making your own post, or commenting on the post of other people. As you are making connections, you may have started to follow people in your industry that are talking about what you want to talk about or that have similar interests to you. A great starting point is to begin to comment on the post of other people. This will help you get that muscle ready in terms of sharing your thoughts and your ideas on LinkedIn. Well, a good comment, like a good comment where you add value, not a comment that's just thanks for sharing or I totally agree, but like a detailed comment where you've taken the time to think about it and to add value. That could be equivalent to a post. So taking the time to share comments is quite important, and it's a great way to start to help you gain that visibility. And then, within day 11 to 14, you can also now decide that you're going to share your own post. And as I was mentioning, studying people who are already on the platform before you go ahead and share content is a great way to learn from others. It's a great way to get examples and an understanding of what you want to do and what you don't want to do as well. That was something that was quite important for me and that I still pay attention to. I don't look at what a lot of people or other people are doing as much anymore, just because the time I have on the platform has reduced significantly. So when I'm there, it's either checking my inbox or just responding to some comments. But when I did have a little bit more time to really study what was happening there, I did see a lot of things that made me say that, I do want to grow my personal brand on LinkedIn, but not this way. And I think those were even more helpful than the ones that were, okay, I'm going to do what this person is doing. So also pay attention to that. There are some certain things that maybe you're not comfortable saying, comfortable sharing. What are your boundaries when it comes to the platform and the kind of content that you're going to be sharing? So day 11 to 14 is really about beginning to get used to engaging, comment on other people's posts. People don't only do posts on LinkedIn. Some people create videos, some people write articles. These are all different ways that you can begin to share your content and ideas on the platform and to begin to explore what your voice is going to sound like on the platform. Certain things that you're going to be doing on an ongoing basis, even after the 14 days, is reflecting and planning. So your purpose for being on the platform will change for sure over time. So do take the time to reflect and to plan as you're going so you can adjust your strategy with time. And also, as mentioned before, your LinkedIn profile is going to evolve with time as you evolve as a person and as a professional. So definitely take the time to often do a brand audit where you're at, audit the information that you're sharing, audit where you see yourself going, and make adjustments as you go as well. Your LinkedIn presence, your personal brand is not static, so give yourself that opportunity to change, to rebrand, to reinvent yourself. And that's the amazing thing about being able to build a personal brand, is that it will change over time and you get to make it your own. The first thing I shared with you in this video is that consistency on LinkedIn is key. So you want to make sure that even after this 14-day plan, that you're remaining consistent on the platform, and that's how you're going to get the best out of it. If you are looking for additional tips on how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn, check out this video. I go into that topic in a lot more detail. So I will see you in that one. Take care. Bye.